responding to Pepe's question here. How do you know what or who to paint? Okay, well, it's kind of like, depends on who you are. Some people know immediately what they want to paint, what their passion is, and other people have to explore, kind of become a detective. My personal discovery of my subject matter, my voice, has been an evolution for sure. When I was studying, I definitely preferred portraits, but anything could interest me because what was interesting was the act of learning to paint. There was a point where my skill increased, and so I was then able to paint anything I wanted, pretty much. And that was a pretty interesting point because I had all of these options, and that was really confusing and stressful. So at that apex of possibility, what I had to start doing was really accessing my intuition, my gut feeling, my heart, and being like, okay, just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? Because I realized practically, okay, just because I see a dandelion growing up in the sidewalk and that's cool and I could paint that, do I really want to? I could waste my entire life painting everything that I can paint, but I need to figure out what I care about. And so the process of eliminating things was what was next, and that is in observing observing my feelings when painting something. So you'd have an interest, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to try to paint that. If it felt hard, if it felt draining, then that was not it. And so there would be sometimes when I just was pulled towards something, and that's when I was also kind of fighting the mind. Because I would want to paint something, but I had a visceral experience about wanting to paint something, and it was so me that it was kind of weird, and I didn't see it anywhere. And so it took that kind of courage to be like, all right, so I'm going to paint this. It doesn't feel safe, but I'm having fun doing it, and it's easy. I actually can figure out how to do it. It feels natural. And then after that, over time, you begin to trust that intuition of what you want to paint and that experience of kind of having more ease because you're following your own path and your own voice and your own interests, and it builds and builds until you're like, this now has context. It's now got life of its own, and I'm painting.